We are excited to share the latest Salesforce innovations with you, which means we may talk about future-looking products and services. Because future-looking statements are inherently subject to risk and uncertainty, our reminder is that you should make any purchasing or investment decisions based on products that are currently commercially available.
When thoughts roam freely, ideas interweave. When new connections are forged, innovation is unleashed. The more technologies become interconnected, the more possibilities emerge, and the more customers expect. And when customers expect more, faster, you need to adapt quicker. You need to empower them with personalized experiences across all channels. Behind the scenes, APIs are the unsung heroes, integrating systems, unifying data, and enabling all the connected experiences we've come to rely on. With the combined power of MuleSoft and Salesforce, customers can connect anything and change everything. Because when it all comes together in a memorable human experience, that's when the future has finally arrived.
Please welcome the Chief Marketing Officer of MuleSoft, Lindsay Irvine.
Welcome Dreamforce, and thank you for being here. We are thrilled to have you, and I am so excited to share more about how we help you unleash the full power of the Salesforce Customer 360 with APIs and integration. But before I do, I want to start with a sincere thank you. Thank you to all of you here in this room, all of you tuning in online, for your time, your support, your commitment, your curiosity, and for pushing us to be our best every single day. If we could go back one slide. And I want to give a shout out, a special shout out to our MVP trailblazers that are in the room. We have Dharmesh from Airbnb, Gene from Silverline, Jay from Flagstar Bank, and Miguel from 5 Dimensions. You are all leaders in the MuleSoft community, helping others blaze their own integration trail. So a big thank you. All right, as you heard yesterday in the opening keynote, the world is changing, and there is a customer revolution underway. The catalyst of this change is today's customer. Today's customer expects integrated, connected, personalized, always-on experiences that meet them where they are, know who they are, and span every channel. And as a result of this, companies are under greater pressure than ever before to go faster, to be more agile, and to innovate at ever greater scale. And this transformation, this revolution is not isolated to one industry, because companies across every industry are in the midst of a digital transformation to deliver and delight or risk getting outcompeted by one who can. So here's a question. If the need for these connected experiences is so pervasive, then how come so many of our apps and experiences are still so fragmented? And that's because, let's face it, our data, our gold, is disconnected from our customers, our partners, our employees, the apps and experiences we want to create. And all too often, integrating systems and unlocking data is the #1 reason that new initiatives fail. So here's the good news. We are going to spend the next 50 minutes talking about how we make that hard problem easy, or at least a whole lot easier. We're going to talk about 3 main things. The first is how we help you integrate your systems and unlock your data with APIs to create connected experiences faster. The second is how we empower everyone in your organizations to innovate securely and sustainably. And the third is how APIs don't just unleash collaboration and innovation in your 4 walls, but empower you to embrace the ecosystem and unleash innovation with your ecosystem as well. And with that, and because we are right between you and Dreamfest, it is time to get this party started. Let's invite to stage Uri Sarid, CTO.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. It's so awesome to be here with you at Dreamforce. You know, MuleSoft was acquired by Salesforce just over 18 months ago, and I'm consistently energized by the conversations I have with our customers and our partners as they so clearly see the power and potential of MuleSoft and Salesforce together. So, Salesforce Customer 360 powers the connected experiences that customers demand. And MuleSoft is central to that solution to actually connect those experiences. You know, our customers consistently tell us that integration, connecting applications and unlocking the data across any application, system, and device is absolutely critical to their success. So we acknowledge that, but there's a catch. See, integration still seems to be hard and slow. In fact, poor integration is the #1 reason too often that new initiatives fail. So why is it so hard? Well, first, as we heard from Lindsay, customer data naturally lives in different applications. And yet every journey has to rely on data from those same applications. In fact, the average customer transaction spans 35 different systems. That's a lot. And that's at the heart of the problem, but it's actually not the only problem. That's only one dimension and only one journey. The second one is the sheer number of systems that organizations use. You know, we ran a recent connectivity benchmark report that shows that the average enterprise uses almost 1,000 different applications. But it's the third problem that's arguably the hardest and sneakiest. And that is, how do you actually integrate? Right? So everybody is scrambling to deliver products and services faster to keep up with customer demand. But all too often, organizations try to meet that demand by writing a lot of custom integration code. See, when you're in a hurry, custom code seems to be the fastest and cheapest way to just get the job done, right? Well, it turns out that custom code is actually the enemy of speed and agility. Why is that? Well, first, custom code may seem fast, but it's actually pretty brittle. So you're constantly going back to it and fixing it over and over again. Second is, the number of people who can write custom code is actually small. So it turns into an actual bottleneck. And the third is, once you write that custom code, good luck changing it, right? It's very hard to change. And you get stuck, and you end up going slower and slower. And it's no wonder when you put all of these factors together, then integration becomes hard and slow. In fact, the whole approach is fundamentally unscalable. You need a different solution. And at the heart of that solution is the API. So the APIs give you standard ways to connect the applications and unlock the data. Standard ways. Let's see what that actually means and how that changes everything. I think the easiest way to think about it is, think of it like Lego building blocks. So let's say you go out and you buy a Lego kit. You're going to build a house. All those unique shapes and unique parts, the doors and the windows and the roofs, still fit together really easily, right? Because you've got those standard little nubs at the top and the standard little holes at the bottom. Well, APIs are unique business capabilities, things like inventory level or order status, that still fit together very easily, and they can power any experience. For example, a personalized in-app shopping experience. And just like with Lego building blocks, you know how you can build lots of houses with exactly the same blocks? So you can reuse those capability APIs to power lots and lots of different experiences. For example, if tomorrow you need a chatbot shopping experience, you can use exactly those same capabilities that you've already got. And in fact, you can put APIs on your existing legacy systems and integrate their capabilities in just as easily. And it's that composability and the reusability that then turns into speed and agility for the business. In fact, it ushers in a completely new API-led model of operating. See, we're moving from being builders, where every project is a custom effort, to being assemblers and composers of capabilities that are already out there. And that lets us move much faster and spend more of our time actually creating true innovation and amazing our customers. And that's the reason why MuleSoft has turned into the world's leading platform for integrations and APIs. MuleSoft allows you to easily build APIs and integrations that unlock your data wherever it resides. MuleSoft also makes it very easy to unify your data, to create a single view of the customer, to create a consistent shopping experience or a coherent patient care plan. And we unleash the full power of Salesforce Customer 360 by delivering an integrated set of APIs across sales, service, marketing, and more. Now, it's one thing to see all of this, and it's another to see it through the eyes of a customer. So BMW, one of our customers, well known, as I can personally attest, to deliver the ultimate driving experience. But did you know that BMW is also reimagining the customer service experience? So let's see how we can help BMW move faster and get to their next set of goals, which is, for example, electrification of their entire fleet. Let's roll film.
Having grown up in Southern Africa, I got my license at the age of 16. And then BMW just launched the K100 motorcycle. It was my dream. I always wanted to see the use of information technology in a product, and that meant the automotive industry was just perfect to do that. The future vision I have for the IT at BMW is that it's API-based, cloud-powered, and to develop a joyful customer experience in and outside the car.
BMW is more than 100 years old. It evolved very much, very complex over time.
So imagine the complexity of bringing across a compelling customer experience through 5,000 dealerships times the people working there. For the past 50 years, the dealers have been the single point of contact for our customers. So it is really key to incorporate all of the data into a 360-degree view of our customers. And this is exactly where the strengths of Salesforce and MuleSoft come together. Imagine Emma on her mobile phone. She's considering to buy an i3 and saves the configuration to her garage. Emma enters the dealership. She uses her mobile phone with the QR code from the configuration of the i3. The product genius receives the notification that it is Emma with her configuration.
The journey does not really end at the point when you sign a contract. That's when it really starts. As Emma drives on the road, our systems would actually detect that the tire pressure was going down a little.
So since we have the car integrated with our cloud, the agent can see that who is calling and has a complete picture of the customer and of the car.
The agent would see what the incident was. But he would not only just see that, he would also know how many kilometers or what mileage is on those tires. Maybe they shouldn't be fixed, they should be replaced.
With MuleSoft and Salesforce together, we were much faster in bringing data together, integrating our processes. We can integrate and build APIs 5 times faster than we used to do in the past. And this speed is in sync with what we have in our DNA.
The power of MuleSoft, it's amazing. It allows us to deliver a compelling customer experience.
Wow, let's give him a huge hand. So BMW is clearly reimagining what customer service experience should be. So I'm thrilled to have here with us René Wies from the video. Let's give René a huge hand. Thank you, René. Thank you, René. René is really leading the charge for BMW to turn that vision into reality. And René, perhaps you can share with us a little bit, how does that vision translate into benefits for your customers?
Right. Well, first of all, thanks for the invitation and the great event here, Yuri. How that turns into benefit for the customers, well, first of all, we want to make sure that our customers have a unique experience with the brand. And as you yourself know, driving a 5 Series, you know, the pleasure behind the steering wheel is perfect, I'd like to say. We want to take the same experience, the perfection, the joy of driving from behind the steering wheel to outside the car. So the experience of our customers should be outside the car just as joyful and as dynamic and emotional. And in order to do that, we have to link up a whole lot of touch points in the customer journey. As you know, it starts from the anonymous potential interest to somebody who wants to know about the car, maybe somebody who configures the car in the internet, goes to a dealer for a test drive, gets an offer, thinks about it, gets another offer, etc. And then, well, maybe buys it, leases it, picks it up, delivery, but then it goes on to service and repair and so forth. And that kind of experience, it's got to be seamless, it's got to be perfect for our customers. And for that point, we need to link up all the systems, all the data, and that's where the whole journey needs to be interconnected.
Yeah. So I can attest that if you make that experience as joyful as driving one of your cars, that would be amazing. But I know there are a lot of challenges to actually realize that. Maybe you can share with us a few of those.
Well, the challenges come with the product, and we like challenges, and we like our product. And the challenge with that is I'd like to say the vehicle, a premium car like a BMW, is probably the most sophisticated piece of work that a private person is allowed to operate in public space. Yeah? You wouldn't find any product that has the same complexity or the same sophistication. And if you look at the product, the vehicle, and then you look around of the ecosystem that goes along with that sophisticated product. As I said, it's service and repair, maintenance, but also the configuration, remote software update, etc. So if you look at that sophistication, it shows how many touch points you need to connect. And so the journey is very complex. It's very long. It's several years long in a lot of cases. And so that is complexity. But there's another level of complexity that we have. First of all, we operate in 140, 150 countries. And in all these markets, they historically developed. So we have a pretty heterogeneous system landscape. Anything you can imagine, I'd like to say from mainframe to blockchain, you'll have to integrate everything. It's not just the geographical coverage, but it's also the history we have. 100 years of, I think, very, very professional, very good automobile industry. That 100 years have brought a lot of legacy. So geographical scope, history of the systems, and the customer journey. That's a lot of complexity you have to cope with.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot. So maybe for a final question, maybe share with us a little bit, how can MuleSoft and Salesforce help you on your journey to overcome these challenges and realize that vision?
MuleSoft has helped us tremendously in order to interconnect the systems. So it's an integration layer that we use. And the second aspect that helps us is the use of APIs. We've got a clear strategy, cloud first, API first, but you've got to implement that. And MuleSoft has helped us as an API gateway to allow us to implement, but also expose and publish these APIs. So what we've managed to do with Salesforce at a pretty fast speed is interconnect all the systems and giving our associates involved in the customer journey at any point in the journey the right data. So from the salesperson to the service agent, they have the right data of the customer they're helping, they're trying to advise, etc. And giving them the data that allows them to focus on our customer and not having to fiddle around with the systems trying to figure out where they would get which data for the customer. So that integration is definitely a great benefit for us.
Makes a ton of sense. René, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Big hand for René. We're honored to be able to support you in realizing that vision. And now, to look at that same vision through the eyes of a real-life demo, let me invite on stage our very own Sanjna Verma. Sanjna, come on up.
Thank you, Uri. So let's take a look and see how BMW has been able to create that ultimate service experience, how they've been able to unlock the data that they need instantly, build a single view of the customer with almost no code, and continue to share best practices throughout the organization. We're going to do this through the lens of Ashley, a BMW service team member who's currently in Service Cloud. As she does so, she wants to be able to pull information and create a dynamic experience for her while she's on this call. However, Ashley's frustrated. She can see only very basic case details right now, and she needs more information, like the vehicle identification number or the mileage and the model number to really be productive. Because that information is stored in various different systems, she spends more time swivel chairing than actually helping her customer. So Ashley wants to change this and create a better connected experience. She starts off by opening Lightning and dragging and dropping in the specific Lightning web component to be productive. The details that she wants are stored in BMW's SAP systems. Because of that, this is where the connected experience starts to break. She needs integration between Service Cloud and SAP, and Ashley doesn't consider herself to be an integration expert. Luckily for Ashley, BMW is a MuleSoft customer. She has access to Anypoint platform where she can unlock and transform her enterprise data no matter where it resides. She starts by going into Anypoint Exchange, which is BMW's integration marketplace. Here, she has access to hundreds of pre-built connectors, so she can connect to systems automatically. This includes systems like ServiceNow and Workday. She has access to hundreds of integrations that are already pre-built, called accelerators, so she can jumpstart her projects quickly. She has access to pre-built APIs, so she can transform her data in compliance with BMW's best practices. Thanks to Exchange, Ashley's empowered to use these components and self-serve without waiting for access from any other person or team. Here, she finds a vehicle master data project. When she reads through the documentation, she can see that it's pulling data from a variety of different sources, very similar to what she's hoping to do right now. Just to confirm that it's exactly what she's looking for, she can take a look at the example data and see how it would look and appear if she were to put it in Service Cloud. The great beauty of this is that the hard work of the integration is already done for her. All she has to do is accept and use this API. She's going to copy the API URL and take it back into her Lightning Web component. As soon as she pastes in the endpoint and saves it, that's it. The systems are now integrated, and she gets all of the dynamic data that she was looking for automatically. That's the beauty of integration, and the magical days of swivel chairing are over. The BMW service team is much happier and more productive. Now, Ashley wants to take this, exactly. She wants to take this one step further and really create a differentiated, connected experience. She wants to pull in more dynamic information, like the vehicle pressure, tire sensors, or the battery levels. That's stored in a different database. And Ashley knows that if she had that information, she and her team could be way more proactive in their engagement on the call as they're scheduling that i3 service. But how? Ashley still doesn't consider herself to be an integration expert. But she goes back into Anypoint platform and opens the Flow Designer, which is MuleSoft's graphical web-based environment. She doesn't have to start from scratch. She's going to open up the Vehicle Master Data project, and it's largely built out for her. She just has to pull in and establish the database connection by putting in the database connector. And as she does so, she gets a really guided experience. She establishes connection to the database and then has to query for the specific data that she wants to pull out from it. Despite her not being a SQL expert, she can still pull in the sensor data that she wants to expose without having to write any code. Lastly, once she's done this, she has to ensure that Service Cloud can understand the data that's coming in from both SAP and this database. And this is typically where her anxiety really arises. It becomes a really complex data flow with a lot of fields. However, Flow Designer leverages Einstein's recommenders algorithm to automatically suggest mappings. All she has to do is hit preview to actually see what Einstein recommends. Then, once it fits her needs, she can just apply them, and that's it. The data transformation has been done before her. She just has to save the API and go back and refresh her dashboard to get that proactive experience. And there it is. She can see right now that the front right tire pressure for this customer is low. She can point it out for her customer while she's in that call. And this is just the beginning for her and the BMW team. They can take this information and surface it in a mobile application. They can enhance the predictions with Einstein, or they can even integrate with Salesforce Voice. But most importantly, Ashley and her team are confident that anyone can take on these initiatives going forward. The entire team is empowered to unlock the data they need when they need it. They can continue to enhance the connected experiences that they need when they need it and when they identify it. And most importantly, they continue to learn from each other and share the best practices, all thanks to the power of MuleSoft and Salesforce. Back to you, Uri.
Right. Thank you, Sanjna. Happier customer service agents, happier customers, and happier business. Now, to make it easy for you to create these amazing connected experiences, I'm really, really happy to announce today MuleSoft accelerators for service and commerce clouds. MuleSoft accelerators reduce the time and cost it takes to integrate with Salesforce by up to 60%. They allow you to pull in data from back-end systems like SAP and ServiceNow and surface them inside of Salesforce. For example, in the Service Cloud console. They come with pre-built APIs and integration templates, and they're available out of the box in MuleSoft Exchange. They're battle-tested, and they're ready to go. And with that, let's bring back up Lindsay to show you how you can empower your entire organization through the power of APIs. Lindsay?
Thanks, Uri. All right, well, I am really excited to share more about how we can empower your entire organization with APIs. But before I do, let's spend a moment talking about why this matters. Why is it so important to find a path to unlock innovation for your entire organization in a way that's governed but not gated by IT? Well, let's start with a simple fact that so many of you are all too familiar with, and that is that IT capacity simply can't keep pace with today's demand. And even if IT budgets were to magically grow extraordinary, you can't hire enough people to keep pace with today's demand. Because consider two factors. The first is the amazing amount of new technology coming IT's way. From cloud to AI to IoT to voice. That's a lot of new tech to understand, digest, and thoughtfully absorb into an organization. Couple that with the ever-increasing amount of new business demands from all parts of the business, be it entering new markets, building new apps, or evolving existing ones. The result is a widening IT delivery gap, where the traditional approach to project delivery can't keep pace. IT and the business can't afford to build every project or every product end-to-end. And fortunately, thanks to APIs, IT doesn't have to. Because APIs are the ultimate accelerant to innovation. They make innovation accessible to the entire organization. Because as you heard earlier, it's a whole lot easier to compose and assemble existing building blocks than it is to build from scratch with custom code. And guess what? This transformation is already well underway throughout many organizations. The best apps of today are built on the backs of APIs. Take my favorite e-commerce app, which I plan to use a lot this holiday season. Now, that awesome location mapping functionality, is that built from scratch? No. Thank goodness it uses the Google Maps API. How about that seamless payment experience that lets me pay right on my mobile phone? Is that built from scratch? No. That's built using Stripe's payment service API. And how about the tracker that lets me know when my packages are getting shipped? Is that built from scratch? Thank you. Okay, you guys are catching on. That's built using UPS's API. The entire app experience is built on the backs of APIs, and it's awesome. And here's what's really important. Not only do APIs make innovation more accessible, but they make it more secure and sustainable, because it's a whole lot easier for IT to govern, secure, and manage standard APIs than it is a bunch of custom code. Now, we want to empower everyone in your organizations to innovate and build in this way. We want to give every employee the skills and the tools to be able to integrate systems, unlock data, and build connected experiences faster without writing a single line of code. Because in today's age, when digital transformation is so important and the pace is so fast, it's not possible for only one part of your organization to be empowered to innovate. Everyone needs to be given the skills. And we can do this together. And when we do, we are going to unleash a new age of innovation. Innovation in the age of APIs, where everyone can build an API and anyone can consume an API. And the companies that are already doing this are seeing amazing results. 70% increase in productivity and huge gains in speed, agility, and the ability to innovate at scale. And this is not just about big companies with big budgets. All companies across all industries can affect this kind of change. And to bring that story to life, I want to tell the story of one such company who has rebuilt their business from the ground up with a focus on the customer, a focus on doing good, and the power of an API-led strategy. Let's roll the film.
Ashley Stewart was founded in 1991 as a clothing business size 12 and up for black women in black neighborhoods. It survived despite not making any money, with no computers, no Wi-Fi, no terms, no access to capital. And it survived because of the pure heart and support and loyalty of the women.
We are all sisters. And when women stick together, nothing is impossible. We have come so far from being the women who were ignored to being the women at the head of the table. And we no longer sit here alone. We sit here together, side by side. And the best feeling in the world is when you can look around the table and you see your sisters. I am a sister. I am a disruptor. And we are all Ashley.
Today, it's a thriving e-com business. It has outsized impact for the size of the company. It is a story of using technology and capital to try to affect change that's larger than the underlying business itself.
What an awesome, awesome story. And to bring that to life, I'd like to welcome to stage Eileen, SVP of IT for Ashley Stewart.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Thanks for joining us. Awesome to have you. Well, you have quite a history and quite a story of this company. Would love to share a bit more just about the history of Ashley Stewart and how you got here.
Well, sure. As James says in the video, what the company lacked in financial backing and e-com savviness, it more than made up for in the customer's love for the brand. It's an amazing story, and we have a history of giving back to the customer. And the company's success and foundation really lays in the values of giving back. And so we do that in a number of ways. One is through the Ashley College Tour, where we have partnerships with historically black universities and women majority universities, excuse me, where we help educate and empower young women. Another way that we're doing that, as the video showed in our finale for Finding Ashley campaign, we're giving scholarship foundations to young women. And then the final, James, our CEO, who was in the video here, has joined JP Morgan's Chase, Advancing Black Pathway Council, with an elite group of global leaders. So it's really exciting to see how the company is giving back.
That's great. And I know you guys have really gone through a transformation. So maybe from an IT perspective, as the head of IT, my guess is you're probably under a fair bit of pressure to help drive this transformation and affect a change. So talk to us about how APIs, integration, and MuleSoft helped you drive that.
Yeah, look, I think the customer's constantly looking for connected experiences. And when I joined the company, I realized in order for us to be able to deliver value to the business, we really had to transform the way that we were building and developing. And so the team was doing point-to-point custom integration, as Yuri talked about, projects that would take sometimes a month, 2 months, because it had multiple integration points to modify when you had to bring in some data. It just was not a scalable and agile and flexible way of doing things. So we signed up with the Anypoint platform. We really invested in our team and getting them skilled through the MuleSoft training with our MuleSoft services team, bringing them together and delivering our first major project. And it was really great to see the team go from, I think, what might have been a little bit daunting, where they were doing, excuse me, just .NET and SQL, to having to skill up on APIs, really become integration trailblazers, and deliver the value for the organization. We're delivering projects probably 2 to 3 times faster than we have historically, and now when we have to add a data element into an integration point, it's taking us less than a day to make the change and test and deliver, so it's really exciting.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's a great story, great change. Thank you. All right, so the opportunity to empower everyone in your organizations to innovate with APIs is not unique to Ashley Stewart. Everyone needs integration trailblazers. So what is that? Well, think of an integration trailblazer as anyone in your organization that wants to be a change agent, solve a problem, deliver a connected experience, and do that on the back of APIs. And I want to invite a real-life integration trailblazer to the stage. Malik, please join us up here. Eileen, come on up. Malik is driving this change at Ashley Stewart. And Malik, thank you for being here. We just want to recognize you know everything there is to know about APIs. You've taken the next step to get certified on the MuleSoft platform. You are now building and deploying APIs and driving incredible change throughout your organization. So we want to recognize that with our brand new, first of its kind, bedazzled MuleSoft Integration Trailblazer hoodie. We know you all want one. Thank you so much. And again, appreciate all the work you do. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So the question is, how do we give hoodies to your organization? How do we create integration trailblazers throughout the world? Well, we're going to help you do this in 2 ways, with product and with enablement and learning. So tune in, because this is some new cool stuff. We're going to start with product. So we've been on a journey, and we will continue to invest in making MuleSoft richer with the tools that pro coders and developers like Malik need. But we also have heard that we want, and you want, innovation to be accessible to the rest of your organization. And that is why today I'm excited to announce our new clicks, not code approach to integration, where we are making the entire end-to-end integration lifecycle drastically simpler. Available today in any point platform, you have the updated Flow Designer, where you can use clicks, not code, as you saw earlier, to create those integrations, to reuse existing integrations, and plug those integrated APIs directly into Salesforce. You can also use AI and Einstein to automate the complex tasks of data mapping. Next year, we're going to take another big step and release product that simplifies the entire end-to-end integration lifecycle, from design, build, deploy, and manage, without a single line of code. And we will help you get started faster by making Exchange, our marketplace for APIs, even richer, with new connectors, new templates, new accelerators for your use cases and industries to let you go even faster. So this is a huge step forward in product to help make APIs and integration accessible to the entire organization. But we cannot stop there, because great tech alone is not enough to affect this kind of change. You need great technology and a new skill set to succeed. And that's why we're excited to share that we are committed to skilling up the world on APIs. We have taken the best of API knowledge and brought it into Trailhead for free today. You can now go onto Trailhead, take the Integration Trailblazer Trail Mix, and learn all there is to know about the power of APIs and how to apply them, and become an integration trailblazer. And for those that want to take that next step and get more hands-on, build APIs, deploy APIs for your organization, you can become an integration trailblazer and get certified on the MuleSoft product. Again, all available today. And to show you our commitment to skilling up the world on APIs, one more exciting announcement. We have pledged and committed to skilling up 100,000 integration trailblazers in the next 5 years. 100,000 integration trailblazers. You can clap for that. That's good. Because it is all about skilling up the workforce on the future on this critical skill. And we are not alone on this journey. Our partners have also recognized the importance of skilling up the workforce of the future on APIs, and they have joined us. Our founding partners, Deloitte and Accenture, are here with us today. A big round of applause and a thank you. Our partners have also done their part to commit to this pledge to skill up the world on this critical skill. So we are on this journey together. We can do this. We can unleash a new age of innovation, and we're not going to stop there. We're now going to chapter 3, because it's not just about using the API to unlock innovation in your own four walls. It is about using the API to also enable and empower your ecosystem to innovate right alongside you. And to share more about how we're doing that, I want to invite to stage Mark Dow, our Chief Product Officer.
Thanks, Lindsay. All right. We know that the pace of innovation, the demand for innovation, continues to grow. So the question becomes, how else can you accelerate innovation inside of your organizations? So we want to talk about 2 key levers. The first is, as we think about those API trailblazers that you have in your organization, the question becomes, how can you enable them to collaborate with one another and be more effective? The second key lever is, as you look at your external ecosystem, how can you enable that external community to deliver innovation on your behalf? The thing is, those external developers, software vendors, and partners think about your joint customers in a different way. So as they get access securely to all of your APIs that you're sharing with them, they can start to innovate on your behalf, and they can create innovations that you had never even considered. Now, in order to do this, you need to have a new mindset. One that starts to think about APIs not as time-bound or budget-bound projects, but rather as products. APIs and integrations as products, meaning that there's a strategy, a roadmap, and a customer for those APIs. A customer, an API user that you need to engage. As you think about engaging that API user, there are 2 types of users there. There are the business users. You need to help them understand what is the overall API value, what is the strategy at hand. For the developer, you need to start thinking about how to create delightful developer experiences to enable them to be successful. So the question becomes, how do you do this? Well, first, you need to design your APIs with the user in mind, leveraging open standards like the Cloud Information Model, the first ever open source data model designed specifically to dramatically simplify how companies can unify data across different cloud platforms. Next, you need to think about a marketplace. How do you enable your APIs to be discovered and explored? Now, as developers come on board, you need to start thinking about onboarding them and enabling them through that entire process and supporting them through their development. And at that point, you have everything you need to really bring in the secret sauce, collaboration, enabling the community to help one another and really drive innovation across the entire community. Earlier this year, we launched API Community Manager, the first ever developer platform built from the ground up to enable the creation of these developer ecosystems. It's been really exciting to see what our customers have been able to do with API Community Manager. They've been able to leverage the power of CRM-like experiences to build API marketplaces with these rich experiences for every single user that comes on board, leveraging pre-built components and templates. Then they've been able to drive adoption by fostering community through forums and support channels and all the tools enabling that collaboration. And they've been able to leverage the pre-built dashboards to understand the overall health of their community and understand where they need to interact with that community. Now, all of this is built on top of the Customer 360 platform, on Community Cloud, Marketing Cloud, and Service Cloud, enabling you to leverage the capabilities that are already in your organization to truly drive that innovation and enable the creation of innovation through a community. To hear from a customer who's doing just this, let's roll the film.
Growing up back in India, I used to tinker with everything electrical. The exposure to computers came in pretty late for me. when my dad asked me to inventory things in his business, and we spent 3 days counting stuff. I said, why can't we do this better? All we're using is a calculator, and I begged my dad to buy a computer. So can we get a computer and put everything in there? HSBC is an institution. We've been around for over 150 years, and as the CTO for the company, I focus heavily on the experience that we provide our customers.
Our customers expect to use their bank and their banking services any time of the day, whenever they want. The bank, as we know it traditionally, have become a lot more hidden, whereas the banking services have become more relevant. APIs have democratized banking services so that developers can build amazing applications.
We are building many, many APIs, and one of the challenges for us was to find the right solution to help build a community around the APIs. When Salesforce and MuleSoft came together, the power of MuleSoft's APIs could just be unlocked. There's one partner that brings us not just the back office solution, but also now the customer-facing solution.
Today, if I'm a developer, I feel like I've got access to the entire banking set of services at the flick of a button on my keyboard.
So today, you don't have to apply for an HSBC mortgage on HSBC. If I'm a developer at an online real estate search platform and I want to provide a seamless property purchase experience, I go into HSBC's open banking portal, look for the right APIs. Once they have access to the APIs, it's easy for them to build journeys that let the customer get a pre-approved amount for mortgages right there on the partner's website. So it's seamless now.
So now the customer is at the center of the ecosystem.
We hope that driving choice just enhances the value of the customer relationship with HSBC, so we can be a partner of confidence.
It is really exciting to see what HSBC is doing, building the bank of the future. And I'm excited to be able to introduce Prakash Antharaman. Welcome, Prakash. Prakash is the Chief Architect of Digital Technologies at HSBC. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me, Bob.
So, Prakash, we heard about HSBC's desires to become the bank of the future, leveraging APIs. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
So, Mark, customer experience, expectations and what they want to experience in life is changing. What that means is the way they interact with us is also changing. So at HSBC, what we want to do is reach out beyond the branch and the contact center and our more traditional digital channels that we have, and create connected experiences for them, right? When we work with our partners and our partners access our APIs, they get access to our global banking capabilities. It doesn't matter where you're based. You can access any country through HSBC. And our customers get more choice and they get more convenience.
A connected customer experience. Now, we know that that can be hard to build, and you need developers to really help you create that connected customer experience. Tell us a bit about how you're using API Community Manager to drive that ecosystem.
So API Community Manager is a critical part of the HSBC of the future. It allows us to engage with the newest type of customer we have, developers. And if you look at what we've done, API, we worked with MuleSoft for quite a long time now, over 3 years. Developers inside HSBC are quite familiar with MuleSoft. We've got thousands of APIs now. What Community Manager allows us to do is take the next big step. It's going to be rolled out across 30 countries. 30,000 odd developers inside HSBC have access to Community Manager, allows them to find those thousands of APIs. And we'll now start engaging with hundreds of external partners. Right?
30,000 developers, hundreds of external partners. That's amazing. Now, we know that banking is also a regulated industry. So how do you think about the compliance needs as well as that innovation?
Okay. As we'll see in the demo after this conversation, it is possible to be innovative and very innovative in highly regulated environments. Okay? the open banking regulation that's coming across multiple countries, the main aim is to promote innovation, right? So what APIs allows us to do and what community manager allows us to do is two things. One, we can evidence to the regulators that the APIs that we are mandated to publish, we have done so, and they're accessible, and we can publish statistics as to their use and adoption, etc. But the more important thing that it does is it allows developers, internal and external, to find our APIs, to learn about them, to try them out before they use them in production applications, right? So when adoption of our APIs goes up, everybody wins. Our partners get access to capabilities and new revenue streams. We get happier customers. But most important, our customers can use our partner services completely confident that they will be safe because our APIs implement the regulations that keep them safe. Right?
That is great. Innovation and compliance combined. Thank you so much, Prakash.
Thank you.
Prakash, it's been great being on the journey with HSBC as you've been developing your API ecosystem, and we look forward to continuing to partner with you. Now, let's bring the last part of that conversation to life. Prakash talked about DreamMove, that home search platform, much like a Zillow or a Trulia. Now, DreamMove has realized that there's a concern for their customers. Even though they can find the home of their dreams, many of their customers don't know how much of a mortgage they can actually afford. So in this demo, we're going to follow along with Lauren, a product manager from DreamMove, as she goes and explores the API ecosystem. Then, we'll take a look at the overall developer experience as they build leveraging those APIs. And then we'll take a look at the HSBC experience as they manage their overall ecosystem. So let's get started. That product manager from DreamMove remembers an email that she received from HSBC. She clicks on it, and when she lands, what she sees is this fully branded, pixel-perfect experience, allowing her to understand what she can do with HSBC's APIs. As she scrolls down, she can see the different solutions and the news and announcements, helping her understand the different products and services that HSBC has to offer. As she scrolls down further, she sees that the APIs are actually organized into these different groups. Now, she needs to create a new product, so she clicks there. Remember, she's trying to find a mortgage API, so she scrolls down and she finds it. When she clicks in, what she sees is this dynamic documentation that she can interact with. She scrolls down, she can click in to one of the methods, and when she does that, she's introduced to the API console on the right-hand side. She can interact with the console and actually get mocking data back, really helping her to understand how this API works. Now, if she needs more help, she can go to the top and take a look at the support links, and she can get direct interaction with HSBC's support team. Importantly and very powerfully, she can also go to the community and understand how the rest of the community has leveraged HSBC's APIs. Now, with all this information, she's confident that this is the API she wants to use. So she hands it off to her developers. They come in, they click Get Access. What they see is this guided experience from getting a sandbox key all the way through to being live in production. Now, oftentimes as a developer, as hard as it is to find APIs, it's as hard to actually understand if you're leveraging it effectively. So this kind of guided experience really ensures that DreamMove's developers can be successful in implementing their project. Now, I'm going to wave a magic wand. Imagine with me that some development happens in the background, and we'll go take a look at the outcome. So here we are, DreamMove's website. We see this specialized home search platform, and we can see how now the HSBC logo is right there with every single home record, and we can immediately, as we look for the home of our dreams, see if we can get a mortgage capability. All right? So what do we see here? DreamMove being able to go very rapidly from concept to implementation, covering a new customer need. We see HSBC actually getting a new revenue stream. And most importantly, we see the connected customer experience that's now possible. Now all the customers, the joint customers of DreamMove and HSBC can find the home of their dreams and immediately get a mortgage. This is the power of innovation driven through an ecosystem. Now let's come over and take a look at the HSBC admin team's experience. This is the API Community Command Center. The HSBC admin team can take a look at these core KPIs across the top, understanding how their ecosystem is behaving. They can also see core actions down at the bottom left, helping them to rapidly respond to forum posts, publish new information around products, and engage with their community. Let's go click into the total members. Now, this is a view that many of you are familiar with. You see a segmentation on the right and a funnel on the left. Now, normally, you're used to using this to understand your prospect to customer funnel. What's interesting is, as you think about APIs becoming products, the developer is now your customer. So what you see here is a developer ecosystem segmentation on the right and a developer journey funnel on the left, taking that developer from initial visit all the way through to successful implementation. So let's click on those that are generating traffic. As we look here, what we see is a common pattern. Each one of these partners that is live has a relatively high number of transactions per second, and they have relatively high engagement scores. We can see that Lauren from DreamMove is at the top. Let's click into her profile. Now we see here something really powerful. We've gone from an ecosystem of over 30,000 developers and hundreds of partners down into a single record so we can understand exactly what that individual partner is doing. This allows HSBC's API ecosystem team to understand how to interact better with this particular partner. They can go and click on the applications and see which APIs DreamMove is actually leveraging. And we also see the power of machine learning applied to developer ecosystems. Over there on the right-hand side, we see Einstein recommending the next best action, and that is to onboard DreamMove to the Developer Champions Program. What this does is it allows Lauren to become part of that program, to be selected, and to really promote the brand of DreamMove. In addition, it allows for the entire HSBC API ecosystem community to leverage the knowledge and the power of Lauren as an API trailblazer. There you have it. So this is the power of an API ecosystem. I bet you never thought that you would see sparkles on an integration keynote. All right, yeah. There it is. For API trailblazers. All right. So this is what we've seen is HSBC's ability to now generate this overall ecosystem, to democratize access to banking services, to enable their internal community as well as their external ecosystem to innovate on their behalf. Now with API Community Manager and the Salesforce Customer 360, all of you have everything you need to start to democratize access to your services for internal and external access. The question I would leave you with is what kind of innovation can you imagine creating when you enable that internal collaboration, when you harness the power of your external ecosystem to create product on your behalf? Thank you very much. Back to you, Lindsay.
Thank you, Mark. All right. Well, we've talked about how you can integrate your systems and unlock your data with APIs to create connected experiences faster. We've talked about how you can empower everyone in your organizations to innovate securely and sustainably, and how the API is the ultimate enabler of the broader ecosystem. So what are you going to do if you unlock your data in this way? And what is your next step? I'll leave you with a few thoughts. The first is don't let the learning stop here. You're at Dreamforce. Go take advantage. Head to Integration Grove on Moscone West. Get hands-on, talk to some experts. Skill up on Trailhead. Challenge your entire teams to become integration trailblazers and go take that trail mix. Join us on the road as we bring the power of APIs to a city near you. And last but certainly not least, all of the goodness starts a project at a time. So when you go back, pick that business project that matters. Build that project with APIs with an eye towards reuse. And you'll be amazed at how much faster you go when you do. And with that, let's go have some fun at Dreamfest.